Sense like the sun, thou art the possessor of gold and silver. Why art thou standing every morning at the door of others, as with the candle? No one for my redemption endeavoreth, and thou, like the snuffers, art a seeker after my head, as doth the shadow on the sun setting follow the eye's dark shade. If thou for a pretty one with a sunny face, a candidate art, by the slaughter of whom wilt thou of roseate hue thy garment dye, that today again thy waist like the rosebuds is girded, like unto mincemeat, wound after wound I receive. Then wherefore art thou my state and my case unaware? Thou didst depart like the bubble on the back of the flood. Then myself, O my home, greater wanderer art thou, thou beautiful brunette, thou of figure so graceful, the straight and verdant pine, of whose grove art thou, if in adversity thou bendest not thine head unto anyone, in the loftiestness of thy spirit, like a dark beetling mountain art thou, O Sha'ada, thou art that parrot with Indian disposition endowed, that art with the connection of thine own words, roses content. And there's supposed to be a chaplet in the night and day are considered as garments. Camels and other animals are given bells in the middle of travel. Now, caravan has taken on a certain implication politically, so that's not what we're talking about. Tresses upon the shoulder for support. Like in Islam, if one's to wear one garment, one's supposed to have something tied over the shoulder for support, if one can. The bartabel is a large partridge bird, and it's kept because it's the sound it makes. That's like laughter. And Farhad is a statuary. The lover of Shiran, the wife of Khusrau Parvez, king of Persia, and daughter of the Greek emperor Maurice, who to please his mistress dug through an immense mountain. This is the subject of a poem by Nizami, one of the most famous and sweetest of Persian poets. The chikor, species of partridge, have eyes that are deep red, like its legs. Rent garments like the rose. Remember, the rose is like the Luciferian symbol, the symbol of taking it beyond, becoming a living word. So there's difficulties a living being has to go through. Sunspots are like brands. And some people in Afghanistan, to ward away bad luck, because it's supposedly a child being born at the wrong time, would brand their kids' foreheads, not something that Islam, for example, lets them do, but just because Islam exists or is claimed for an area doesn't mean that's, everything people do. And bubbling sounds of a wine flask are said to be its laughter. course, we're not literally talking about going around being a drunkard here. Qin is a wrinkle, but it's also the name of the eastern part of China. You know, for some reason they spell that with a Q. They've given this weird transliteration that's make it difficult. The people of Ram or Asia Minor are ruddy in complexion, and the heart is red, and the people of India are dark, so the curls of the beloved. So they're uses metaphors for acceptable and what? So the socially inappropriate love for God, you could say, or the spiritual path at the very least. And Nowruz is this spring festival. Is that what they're talking about? Which season upon the later peoples personified under the name of Basanta, who is said to attain on Kama. You know, the Hindu idea of divine love, but you know, particular type of love. And well, a little bit better than Eros, right? Eros, but it doesn't have to be personified. Neither one has to be personified to understand that place in mythology, or theology, you could say. Or specifically, it's useful in the Punjab and vicinity on this day for Hindus to dress in saffron-colored garments, is also called basanti. Krishna's favorite color. Now, Krishna, dark, colorful, all in the same term. Saffron is therefore thought to cause a person to laugh to death. The nightingale sings because of the rose, which is red, and the gurgle, though singing for forth, you know, these things connect to each other in ways that the most sacred part of a palace or dwelling is the seraglio, or women's apartments. You know, they would arrange things that was the most guarded area. Time assumes the black dress of darkness in the evening, and its garments is rent in the dawn of the day. I think I mentioned that. And scimitars, you know, those curved swords, are likened to the eyelashes.